sight of my body staining the street and not cry out. Hear me, we not built for silence. Because now ain't the time to talk to God. Body teach this phantom spirit to cast off to submission. Shuck this yearning for peace. Shout, spirit be still. Kills can't be no more still. Then, body remember me those Old Testament ways of heat and blazing pyres. And let God look down at a creation on fire. And if this is what it must be, this just one pass of the grindstone, a single step in the erosion of my body into ash, then considereth this our ritual, sacrament holy, preparation for the embalming of our own children, the ones we will bring screaming into life in spite of fear and grip to our bodies like death till they bleed black death embodied, cold on the boiling asphalt, and won't we be ready then? Yes, won't we be ready? Thank you.
Now we will have Bianca Tyler from the Corrections Accountability Project, followed by our last speaker, Jamel from Refuse Fascism.
So to provide a little bit of context, as has somewhat strangely become common knowledge now, players were not required to be on the field for the singing of the national anthems until 2009. But what people don't know is that the national anthem wasn't even routinely played or televised at games before then. The NFL began televising the national anthem to drive viewership and sponsorship. It sought financial gains by playing on patriotism. See, 2009 was the first year that the USAA became the presenting sponsor of the Army-Navy collegiate football game. It was a clear sign to the NFL that there was an opportunity on the horizon, and with sponsorships making up an increasing segment of its revenues, it was an important opportunity. So the NFL introduced the anthem as a signal to the USAA and waited for this opportunity to realize. Meanwhile, their illustrations of patriotism continued to solidify its role as the country's favorite sport. In 2009, an image marketing consultant said the USAA liked what they were getting out of the Army-Navy game, but they were looking for another marketing platform with an even bigger reach to move to the next level. The NFL strategy worked, and within just 2 years, the USAA became an official sponsor of the NFL. And an executive said, we feel like there's a real opportunity to use the NFL. It is about combining America's passions for football and the armed services. Well, perhaps the right word wasn't combining, but manipulating. Implicating players in televised displays of patriotism was never about saluting military or honoring our country. It was about the NFL's bottom line, and that's exactly what they're here discussing today. They're not worried about the flag, military, or patriotism. They're worried about their bank accounts. But that's not surprising. Every week, they watch men, black men, kill each other on the field from their press boxes. With each hit, each injury, and each concussion, they rake in millions. They view these players as their property, and well, as property, they should have no voice. They should be grateful, they say, for the chance to partake in the American dream, for their rags to riches tales. When they drafted their players, the NFL owners thought they bought their silence. Well, they were wrong. Not for love of country, but for love of money, they conflated patriotism with business and opened the door for critical analysis of our national ideals on the country's largest platform. They have themselves to blame, but perhaps we have them to thank for introducing the issue and giving the most patriotic among them grounds to kneel on and shout from for justice for all. Woo!
So, how's everybody doing? Crazy question to ask in 2017. I'm Jamel Mims, I'm with Refuse Fascism, and let's put this very clear. When the President of the United States tweets, talks, or calls NFL players and owners and calls people to be fired for calling out white supremacy and police brutality, that is fascism. That is textbook fascism. You're talking about a system, a process, a rule of government that's actually stripping away the way that the laws actually work. It targets ethnic minorities, blacks and Latinos, build those walls higher. It scapegoats minorities, right? It puts women back into the Stone Age. Just last week, you had law after law being passed to regulate abortion and birth control. All of this in the midst of hurricanes in Puerto Rico, Donald Trump treating Puerto Ricans like animals, lobbing paper towels at them, and then telling NFL players who righteously have been taking a knee to call out police brutality, telling them what? What did he call them? You guys heard it. What did he say? This is what he called them, while he called neo-Nazis very fine people. Let's make no mistake. This is fascism, consolidating power. This is 1933 Germany, and we need to do what the good Germans did not do. What is required of us if we understand the historical circumstances that we're living in? It means stepping outside of the normal workings of things. It means actually driving them out, not just waiting for a hopeful day in 2018. Those DACA students, they don't have till 2018. Right on. Heather Heyer in Charlottesville, she doesn't have until 2018. It takes us stepping up and stepping out. And on November 4th, one more time, November 4th is when it all begins. Day after day, night after night, not going home, not stopping. Protest day after day, growing from thousands to millions, driving them out. There's precedent for this, like they did in South Korea around this time last year, like they did in Tahrir Square. We need to create a situation like that here in this country to drive this fascist regime out of power. And so with that, I'm going to call on people to join me right now and to join us right now to take a knee in front of the hotel. Take a knee against white supremacy.
Take a knee against white supremacy.
Take a knee against white supremacy.
Take a knee against white supremacy. Take a knee against white supremacy. Take a knee against white supremacy. Take a knee against white supremacy. Take a knee against white supremacy. Take a knee against white supremacy.
So the Conrad Hotel is over here.
They're going.
That's the hotel. So that's where they're going, right over here. All right.
Oh, don't get hit. Oh.
Jaywalk. Thanks.
Holy cow.
I thought the pen was for the pen.
Take a knee against white supremacy. 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 Take a knee against